All right, everyone, it is now 5 o'clock, so we will be beginning our regularly scheduled board meeting. I know we've got some inclement weather forecasted, so we're going to try to get everyone out of here as quickly as possible. So we'll start right along and begin the regularly scheduled Joliet Township board meeting today, Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, 5 p.m. I'll begin with the call to order and the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
Trustee Adamowski.
Here.
Trustee Vivian.
Here.
Trustee Gavin.
Here.
Trustee Washington.
Here.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Here.
We have a quorum.
We'll begin. The first order of business is approval of the minutes of the regular town board meeting of February 10th, 2026. Minutes are included in your agenda packets. Is there a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting from February 10th, 2026?
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carried.
We'll now open public comments. I see Sean's here, so we've got you on the agenda right after this. So if anybody else from the public would like to come speak, now would be the time to do so. Yeah, if you'd like to come up now, unless I know Carl, you wanted to say something.
Yeah. Real quick, I ain't gonna take up everybody's time. How y'all doing? Good. Okay, Carl Farrell, I'm here with two matters today from two different organizations. I wanna congratulate you, Betty, for being inducted into the Quad City Black Hall of Fame. Thank you. As somebody else who fights for advancement and liberation of our people, I do respect and I honor the work that you've put in over the years. I know we may not see eye to eye on everything, but I do respect you though. Thank you. And with that, I am the chair of Black Lives Matter, Will County, Black Lives Matter Grassroots now, Will County. And what we are doing for this month in celebration of women, since this is Women's Month, we're having a Black Women Are Divine celebration on Saturday, March 28th at 310 Stryker. It's gonna be from 12 to 2 p.m. It's gonna be a free brunch. So just come out so we can celebrate and, and feed you and honor some people in the room. And then the other issue that I have at hand is that you will see, I am also a member of an organization called Equity and Transformation. With Equity and Transformation, what we did 5 years ago, we started a campaign called the Big Payback Campaign. And so we were looking for a form of reparations from the harms caused from the war on drugs. Now I know that might sound a tad bit crazy, but see, this is what happened. When marijuana was legalized with the when legislation HB 1438 got passed, it had to be acknowledged that the war on drugs was harmful in some ways in order for people to capitalize off of it. So when they acknowledged that, they said that 25% of the marijuana tax dollar revenue will go back to what's called R3 zones, which are the neighborhoods and communities that were most affected from the war on drugs in a negative way, like disproportionately. So that hasn't been happening, right? The money is being allocated, but the funds and those dollars, they kind of aren't being placed where they should be placed, right? Back to the communities that were disrupted or harmed. So what we did was we started what was called the Chicago Future Fund, and we ran a pilot program where we took 130 families of formerly incarcerated people. We gave them $500 a month in network of resources. And so from that 130 families, we had 2 people who had police contact, so that was less than 2% recidivism rate. And the city of Chicago loved it, Cook County loved it. They both ran temporary programs. Cook County loved it so much that they did a permanent program, which is the first guaranteed income permanent program in the country based off of marijuana tax dollar revenues. So now we're trying to get this pushed across the whole state. And so instead of being the Chicago Future Fund now it's called the IFF, Illinois Future Fund. It's HB 4443. And what we would like for you to do is, because I don't want anybody just saying yes to something because I talk so well, you know. I want you to look at it for yourself. So you can scan this. I'm gonna leave one of these here. I'm gonna leave some of these here. They kind of explain it, but if you scan on the bottom, it'll take you to the bill. It'll take you to the petition, which will take you to the bill. You'll be able to read through it, and then if you agree with it, sign it. And don't just sign it. Share it with somebody else so they can sign it. Talk to your local, your state rep, or either your local senator about it. More so the state reps right now, because we don't have it in form for the senators, it's just House bill right now. So, yeah, that's all I wanted. I'm gonna leave these on the back table. If anybody is interested in Black Women Not Divine, if you wanna come out, the registration form is a QR code to register on here. Everybody is welcome to come out. And then I'll leave some of these. You can take some if it's the last one left, just scan the QR code.
What was the bill? IFF HB.
It's HB 4443.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Are you all here for our proclamation for Women's History? Then when we get to that agenda item, we'll call the votes, and then we'll have you come up right after that.
Okay.
Anybody else that for just regular public comments? Once, twice. Okay. So we'll conclude the public comment portion of our meeting. Before we get to new business, we have a presentation from Sean Marcodes, the director at School Granny Medical Clinic, who would like to present to us a little bit about what the clinic has been doing in the last year.
Can I share my screen? Because it says I have this, the sources there. Yes, can I?
Perfect. You can get the candidates.
And, I'm sorry, things got what? All right, good evening, everyone. I'm out here tonight, really to thank, Joliet Township, thank your trustees for your support, your support, has enabled us to do so much. Back in 2023, is when, we started to re-engage with Joliet Township. Actually, Woodworthy Medical Clinic, has been operating since 1988, and actually, about 15 to 20% of the operating funds for the clinic came from Joliet Township from early 90s until 2013. And Joliet Township actually kept the clinic's doors open. Unfortunately, in 2013, we stopped receiving funds from Joliet Township, and we had to quickly replace those funds. In fact, many people predicted that we would close, but the community needed us, and we continued providing services. In 2022-23, we started to re-engage with Joliet Township, and that enabled us to do so much. And I'm just out here today to present some of the data. Among all the individuals served by WGMC, 83% reside in Joliet Township, and these are the zip codes. And the services provided. First of all, we've cared for about 900 individuals with over 4,000 service encounters, and that include 442 individuals who are living unsheltered. So as you know, here in Joliet and Will County, we have a huge unsheltered population because we have a housing crisis. We provided almost care to almost 400 individuals for behavioral health, 9 in medical respite, and 23 in our tenant-based rental assistance. Now, the lifeline that Joliet Township provided us in 22-23 was tremendous. the partnership enabled us to explore not just providing rental assistance, but actually building housing. So because of that partnership that was reignited in 22, we are now, we have a pending award from Illinois Housing Development Authority to hopefully we'll get, it's a $10 million grant to build permanent supportive housing. We've secured almost $1 million from Will County. We also have some funds from the Corporation for Supportive Housing. Silver Cross has provided us with land, and these will be permanent supportive housing units that will support the residents of Joliet Township. We were also awarded funds from Illinois Department of Public Health. We are one of the only agencies in the state of Illinois operating a community health worker program where we're currently partnering with Township. We'll be coming out doing pop-up clinics where we will screen, actually, I saw you at one of our pop-ups. So we screen for diabetes, we screen for high blood pressure, we also screen for your lipid profile, we do BMI, and we counsel you on your family history. And all of this is because of the partnerships. At every one of our pop-ups, we have encountered individuals that have had A1Cs or blood pressures that were so high that we had to send them to the emergency room. In fact, several of the individuals, had they not gone to the emergency room, they wouldn't have woke up the next morning. And so this is the power of partnership, the power of funding, and we're so very grateful that we've been able to innovate. Actually, when we re-engaged with Joliet Township, we had been growing, and at that time our operating budget was probably about $1 million. Now our operating budget is $2.2 million, and we have about 35 employees. And that's back from in 2013, our operating budget was $500,000. So we've quadrupled, we have a lot of new programs, and we're embarking on a construction project. So we are so happy to be able to serve the residents of Joliet Township, and we're grateful for the partnership. We just wanted you to see some of the good work that your investment has enabled, and we want to continue this partnership, and let's continue the conversation, and especially, Ms. Washington, you'll be on the development committee for the Wellness Village. So really excited. This is just, a thank you, and to allow you to ask any questions that you may have about our services.
Anything else that you'd like to highlight? Well, when we have the audience here. Yeah, for the trustees here, and I guess anyone else in the audience, really, if you haven't had a chance to stop by the clinic, you guys have had some improvements to the facility, some renovations recently, so it's really looking a lot better. Had the chance to stop by recently and kind of do a little bit of a site visit. We've also had the chance, Tyler and myself, stop by what was the old Silver Cross campus, which will be the site of the, one more time, the Wellness Village. Right. And that's going to have space for how many people? 24 units, but we'll have 18 one-bedrooms, 3 two-bedrooms, and 3 three-bedrooms. So it's room for families. We'll have a walking trail, community garden, farmer's market, wheelchair accessible walking trail, also wheelchair accessible mini workout centers, business stations, every floor with computers and fax machines. So we also will have partners on the first floor. So we'll have 7 offices. Right now we have MOUs with Cornerstone, Stepping Stone, and Easter Seals. We will also have a clinic on site as well. So I think, again, it's a testament to the power of investment and partnership, because we're going to have 24 units of housing for the most vulnerable. So permanent supportive housing is for people with disabilities.
So you have to screen in, so you have to have a family member with a disability, and wraparound services come with the unit forever, for as long as the person needs. So, again, thank you, and you had some comments, some additional comments or questions or anything?
No, I think there are no questions from the board. Yeah, just wanted to highlight that. Oh,
Actually, hi, Sean.
Hey, guys.
As a former member of the original clinic before the expansion took place, this really warms my heart to see that, and congratulations.
Thank you. You gotta come by.
I know, I've been busy. We'll catch up.
Yeah, yeah, she was my boss. You were part of the group that hired me.
Yes. Yeah, back in the day when we just provided preventive care and basic care, it is really heartwarming to see the expansion and the acceptance in the community. So, from one of the ancient ones.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
So we'll continue on now with new business. First item on our agenda for voting items will be approval of proclamations, plural. Normally we would read through these individually, but in the interest of time, I'll be asking for a motion and a second to approve all proclamations listed, which will include the following. Proclamations for Women's History Month, International Day to Combat Islamophobia, International Day for the Right to Truth Concerning Gross Human Rights Violations and for the Dignity of Victims, International Day of Remembrance of Slavery Victims and the Transatlantic Slave Trade, International Transgender Day of Visibility, and Cesar Chavez Day. The full text of the proclamations is included in your agenda packets. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to review them. Full text will be made available online for the public as well. We've been posting these to our social media accounts to be able to share with the public. So if everybody's had a chance to review them, and unless there are any questions, I would ask for a motion and a second to approve all proclamations.
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carried.
So now, please, if you'd like to come up now and share some remarks.
You guys can
Okay. So we're with the Zonta Club of Joliet. I am Mary Bedino, I'm the current president. And this is Kathy Miller, she's a member, and Pam Hunty, and Pat Perrier. She's our PR person, so she's gonna speak.
So I was I'll be buried with this.
She loves her camera, she loves to take pictures, and she loves to write about it too. So on behalf of the Zonta Club of Joliet area, we thank you for issuing this proclamation, recognizing Women's History Month, and affirming the importance of women's rights across our state. This year's theme, Leading the Change, Women Shaping a Sustainable Future, reminds us that progress is not only about recognizing the achievements of women in the past, but also about supporting leadership, innovation, and resilience of women today and the generations to come. Across Illinois, women are leading in every field: education, public service, science, business, environmental, and community advocacy. They are advancing solutions that strengthen our communities, expand opportunity, and build a more sustainable and equitable future for all. At the same time, this proclamation serves as an important reminder that the work continues. Ensuring equal opportunity, protecting the rights of women and girls, and removing barriers to leadership and economic security remain essential priorities. For these 2 weeks, March 9th through the 19th, the 70th session of the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women is taking place at the UN headquarters in New York City. This is the UN's largest annual gathering on gender equality and human rights. The priority theme of CSW 70, ensuring and strengthening access to justice for all women and girls, discusses what legal inequality means in life and recommends actions to close the gap. It is necessary to bring together global leaders, advocates, and change makers to reaffirm the urgent need to defend and advance gender equality at a time when women's rights face renewed challenges worldwide. We must celebrate progress and also renew the call to action for governments, institutions, and communities to turn commitments into meaningful change. The Zonta Club of Joliet area was chartered in 1973 and is part of Zonta International, a global organization that has been improving the lives of women and girls for over 100 years. Locally, the Zonta Club of Joliet partners with organizations that primarily serve women and girls in an effort to assist them on their journey. Our fundraisers provide the opportunity to offer scholarships to young women, furthering their post-secondary education, and to support local service projects. And we welcome you to join us at our upcoming inaugural Pizza Wars fundraiser this Saturday. It's March 14th. It's at St. Joe's Park Hall, so feel free to come by. We'd love to have you. It's $50 to attend, and it's a pizza tasting. We have 9 local pizzerias that are participating, so it's going to be a fun night.
Pie day.
Pardon
Pie
me?
day.
And it's pie day, yes. Pie day. Pizza pie. Our club members participate in many awareness projects throughout the community focused on ending gender-based violence and advocate on issues affecting women and girls. You will know Zonta is on the move in our community when you see us wearing and displaying orange, which is symbolic to the Zonta Says No to Violence Against Women campaign to end gender-based violence. Women's History Month gives us the opportunity to honor the pioneers who paved the way, recognize the leaders who are driving change, and inspire the next generation of women and girls to see themselves as builders of the future. We are grateful for this recognition and proud to stand alongside partners who are committed to advancing equality, opportunity, and sustainability. Together, we can continue to lead the change. Again, thank you very much for including us today. We are very grateful for this. Thank you.
We need you to have a picture taken.
Yeah.
You PR person can't be forgotten.
No,
My job is to be invisible, and I'm just
Join us.
yes.
There went my disguise.
Looking good. 3, 2. I'm gonna get a sideways one. Or gotta get those off.
Does it make us look better?
I'll take care of that part. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Hi, Quinn. See you Saturday. Thank you so much.
We have this for the record, to keep for the record.
Oh, you want this?
Mm-hmm. Is
We
that
just
okay?
dictate everything.
Oh, here? You want it? Or
You can
want-
just give it to her.
Yeah, okay,
We
perfect.
appreciate it, thank you. Yeah.
We have a member meeting at 6 o'clock, so we will see you later. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thanks again.
Our next agenda item is approval of community grants. For this month, we have 2 eligible applications. One of them was brought to us last month for review. That was Northern Illinois Food Bank. They were requesting $10,000. The next was submitted just in time, and that is from the Latino Economic Development Association as a sponsorship of their Women in Business Expo, which will be happening later this month. That is in the amount for $1,000. Between that and the next item, which would be sponsorship of, the Joliet Public Library Star Wars Day. We're really close to what is remaining in the fund for community grants. So I would ask for some input from the board. I believe that $1,000 award, very doable, something we can do. 10,000 is gonna be cutting it really close, so I'll leave it up to you guys if you'd like to have some thoughts on that. If we do the full amount, we could do a partial award. I think a partial award at minimum would be reasonable. This application was submitted some time ago. It's been postponed for one reason or another, but I think we could reasonably do 7,000, 8,000 if not if there isn't an appetite to do the full award.
Well, the question I have about the Northern Illinois Food Bank Fund is what is, just put it in economic terms, what's the ROI? It's an awfully big budget, they do great work, but could those dollars be allocated to something more local?
Sure.
And we have our own food bank
Right.
that we have to be concerned about.
Anyone else have thoughts on the application?
Yes, I'm in line with Quinn on this one. I can't remember when Northern Illinois Food Bank was founded, cause I think it was a former high-ranking official from McDonald's was their first CEO when they started out in Elgin. They have a lot of money coming in from a bunch of different directions, so funding is not an issue for them. It's a great program, because every food bank that I know of deals with Northern Illinois Food Bank. I feel that we have some local smaller ones that are in dire needs because a lot of these dollars are shrinking. So I'm not saying no, but the amount is, gives me pause.
Well, I guess in a roundabout way, because all of the local food banks do deal
Yeah.
with Northern Illinois as sort of their
Yeah, it's-
supplier,
Yeah.
it is still being disseminated to
Yeah.
our local food pantries, just kind of with extra steps. But of course, I hear the reasoning, so, sounds like perhaps the full amount, it's not something that we have interest in right now, but.
This grant cycle ends when?
Cause this would be the last time we could say our April board meeting will start in our next fiscal year.
This is purging money from,
We should still have, if I'm not mistaken, about 13,000, left and then that will be it.
okay,
So between these two and the next agenda item, I mean, we're cutting it really close, like that would pretty much exhaust the fund. It's also, I guess, I don't wanna skip ahead and, for rules of order, but the next item would also be a sponsorship. That one also has levels, so we don't necessarily have to do the full amount, which I believe 5,000 is the top sponsorship level. But depending on what amount we'd like to entertain for these two items, influences the next decision also.
I think for that, $1,000 should be fine. I don't know, maybe 5,000, half of what they're asking, since the application was submitted a while ago for another bank. So,
any ideas? I'm in line with that. Plus, they did move here to Joliet off Martin Avenue.
Yeah, it is within our boundaries.
Yeah, so they're in Joliet Township, they're here.
I can get behind that.
So you have a recommendation, I would say 5,000
Now,
max.
I'm gonna throw a curveball,
Sure.
can we get 7,500? It's a discussion.
So, I would say 5,000 is reasonable, it's fair,
Mhm.
and we've talked repeatedly in the past about concerns for next year.
Mhm.
And this is coming out of general operating fund, right, so we could look at allocating this next fiscal year, they're always welcome to reapply.
Okay.
But I do think that we should be cognizant of,
If our, I know our finance director isn't here right now, but I'm sure he would remind me that just because you have the money doesn't mean you need to spend it.
Right,
Uh,
I'm with the, that's
I
right.
mean, if it was a re-grant and it was gonna go away,
Sure.
sure, but
Yeah, yeah.
given the other discussions we've had over the past few months, I would say,
So,
Okay.
yeah, from what I'm gathering, then I would ask, is there a motion and a second to approve the community grants in the following amounts? Joliet Latino Economic Development Association for $1,000, Northern Illinois Food Bank for $5,000.
So moved.
Second?
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gavin,
Aye.
trustee Vivian,
Aye.
trustee Adamowski,
Aye.
trustee Washington,
Aye.
supervisor Guerrero,
Aye.
motion carried.
Order.
Are we not going to entertain the Star Wars?
Yes, it's just a
Okay.
separate item, so, just a moment to get sorted here. So the next item on our agenda is approval of sponsorship for Joliet Public Library's Star Wars Day 2026. Information is included in your packet also. A few different sponsorship levels ranging from $650 to $1,250, $2,500, and $5,000. Very similar to our previous discussion. Really is a matter of what is the appetite of the board. It's a recurring annual event that we've participated in the past. Definitely gets a lot of public engagement. I think the 1 year recently that it was canceled, we saw the public comment that came with that. So definitely people want this event to happen. It's a matter of at what level would we all be interested in supporting this.
what do we have left in the kitty?
It's, we just approved.
You said
Did you say we started with 13,000?
Yeah, so we're about.
So we approved 6,000, so we're at 7,000.
Let's see,
I'd
say seven.
recommend the Imperial level,
I agree with that.
1250.
Mhm.
Any other
Okay.
recommendations? 1250 sounds good with
I'm
everyone.
good with 1250.
Then I'll ask if for a motion and a second to approve sponsorship of Joliet Public Library Star Wars Day 2026 in the amount of $1,250.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Washington,
Aye.
trustee Adamowski,
Aye.
trustee Vivian,
Aye.
trustee Gavin,
Aye.
supervisor Guerrero,
Aye.
motion carried.
Okay, the next few items we have here, next two are ordinances. Ordinance number 421-2026, restricting the use of township property for civil immigration enforcement activities and protecting township data systems. This item is a bit lengthy, hopefully everyone's had a chance to review it ahead of time. We reviewed this with our legal counsel. In short, really kind of falls in line with what is already established in the Illinois Trust Act. We're reaffirming the language that's included in there. I believe the Village of Bolingbrook passed an ordinance very recently, very similar to this. So it's not, this isn't unprecedented. There are other municipal governments that have passed something similar. And I think just the highlights of this ordinance here is that it includes not only staging and physical presence on our facility, but also includes some measures for protection of information and data that we would have about the clients that we serve, the residents that we come in contact with to use our services. So really just a matter of making sure that we're protecting the identities and the information of our residents who utilize our services. So, are there any questions regarding this ordinance? Then I'll ask for a motion and a second to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gavin,
Aye.
trustee Vivian,
Aye.
trustee Adamowski,
Aye.
trustee Washington,
Aye.
supervisor Guerrero,
Aye.
motion carried.
Thank you. The next item is ordinance number 422-2026, establishing the Joliet Township Community and Nonprofit Grant Program. In short, this takes some of the feedback that we've gotten at previous board meetings, compiles it into a nice and neat ordinance. We included it would override any existing ordinances that we have previously with regards to community grants. Formalizes the structure, looks at a more formal grading rubric. Basically all of the input that we've been kind of collecting from the board previously is included in here. Still allows us the flexibility. I'll speak on this later in tonight's agenda with budgetary questions. So this still allows us the flexibility to set the overall amount that will be allocated for community grants year to year. So we're not necessarily locked in one way or another. But this will allow us now to at least have the language for the structure in the application process formalized and on the books. And then the amounts that we would issue year to year can of course change when we're discussing our annual budget. Any questions regarding this ordinance? If there are no questions, then I'll ask for a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 422-2026.
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item is, on our agenda, is approval of an agenda for our annual town meeting. This will be held on Tuesday, April 14th at 6:01 p.m. is our anticipated start time. All townships will host their annual town meeting on the same date. There's a copy of the agenda included here for everyone to review. I know I had a question regarding one of the items, so I'll get into that now. Section G, electors advisory questions for the ballots of November 3rd, 2026 general election. There's two items included here. One, should the state of Illinois adopt an independent citizens commission for the federal and state redistricting process? And two, should the Joliet City Council approve construction of AI data centers? Now, when we had these submissions, our clerk and myself had some questions about how to manage these requests, given that we as a township government don't necessarily have oversight or input on really the content of what these two items include. So after consulting with our legal counsel, I think the advice that we gotten, correct me if I'm wrong, if you want to jump in at any moment, is that as a township government hosting the annual town meeting, our responsibility includes allowing for space for the public to submit agenda items. These items were submitted with a complete application. They do have the required number of signatures. And so while we as the township government can't actually put into effect or enforce what these items are requesting, we will honor the request of including them in the agenda. And so we'd like to preface that this isn't necessarily an official policy stance or an official action taken by our office, but that we are fulfilling our requirement to the public who has submitted a completed application by hosting the space in our agenda for this, but that it isn't necessarily an implicit or explicit endorsement, a policy stance one way or another from us as in our official capacities. But is anything wrong? Anything?
Well, that was perfect, honestly. And so even at final township meeting, how that'll work, just so everybody is aware, is that somebody could bring a any of the electors of Joliet Township could bring that motion to put it on the ballot in November. That doesn't mean that it's passing, that's just for consideration of the electors who's ever there. So if there's not a motion, or there's not a second, or somebody wants to oppose putting it on and then they get the majority of votes, that's just kinda how it's gonna go. It's just for consideration.
Right. So we will hold the space, hold that time reserved on our agenda. Again, it's really kind of up to the public electorate to move that item forward. If either of these items are voted with the majority of the electorate that's present at the moment, our responsibility from that point is essentially to record that into our minutes, submit that to the county clerk. but we don't oversee the ballots in November. So we don't have the power to place a question on there or not, but it is our responsibility to say, hey, this was submitted to us. We fulfilled our responsibility to hold it, to include it in our agenda, to hold the space for it, and we are giving you a written record of what transpired in our meeting. But then again, isn't.
So it's a non-binding report. It's kind of a vehicle for the electorate to have.
Yeah, that's correct. So,
Okay.
basically, you would, the clerk is gonna be charged with eventually, if one of them is approved and to be put on the ballot, to just tell the Will County clerk, the electors wanted this on the ballot for November. But they're non-binding, they're advisory questions, so nothing that, per law will actually happen. It's
There's a
just kind of a
statute
stance, right?
where you have to give the electors a voice. And this is the mechanism that every township in the country, because they all meet, all of them, all over the country, meet same day, same time. But it's, the electors are basically they're the engine driving the car. That you have to give them the right to take a question there. We had conversations about it, but it's,
Yeah, I know the way the questions are formatted, it's a little confusing because they're effectively asking us as a governmental entity to tell another governmental office to do something to tell another government office to do something. So there's somewhere in the logistical chain there, things are going to get lost, but we are going to fulfill our part, our responsibility, and once it's out of our hands, then it's out of our hands. But I just wanted to clarify that ahead of time. The other items include delegating the authority of the township board to purchase, sell, and lease property for a period of 12 months. This is kind of a recurring item that's pretty standard, included in the annual town meeting pretty much every year. Whether we actually do purchase or sell property, I think we would like the ability to do that. So this allows us the flexibility to keep those options, but again, is non-binding, non-committal. So we're not necessarily announcing the day of that we will be definitively purchasing or selling any property, but it would allow us the option to do so. Everything else is kind of standard review of accounts. It'll be our annual audit where we will demonstrate our financial records for the public to review. Likewise, road district will also be sharing their financial records. And then we'll have space for the public to ask questions. So, any questions now regarding the agenda for the annual town meeting? Good. Then if there are no further questions, I would ask if there is a motion and a second to approve as written the annual town meeting agenda for Joliet Township government for 2026.
so
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Caesar, I do have one question. Regarding the annual town meeting, do all the same rules apply as it relates to remoting in?
Remoting in is, like,
I'm gonna be out of town for work.
Yeah, so we had previously as a board passed
Yes.
rules to allow remote
That's
attendance.
applicable to this.
but
well,
that's different
it-
from your regular meeting.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's
It's
different from a regular meeting. I mean, I don't know if you guys are gonna broadcast it or anything like that. But for the sake of annual township meeting, you guys are all regular electors like everybody else, so.
We move.
Yeah.
So
And then-
It's like we're
annual-
basically like all like
yeah,
this.
In the annual town meeting,
You go
we don't sit here,
Right,
we sit out there.
so do we,
So anybody can call the motion, or anybody can second a motion, anybody
we
can
wouldn't
vote.
necessarily need to have a quorum as
Nope.
we do
No.
now.
No, but it's a.
But if you guys are gonna broadcast it, we're more than welcome to. I don't know, logistically, that might be difficult to, if they open it for you, they would have to open it for everybody to vote.
You don't.
And that might be a logistical nightmare. You're
Um,
able to, but
We do
that,
Zoom.
It's a, because of it being it's basically a meeting of the electors, it's not
It's not the
this
board.
board to meet. It's a town hall. It's basically you're having a meeting for the voters to give them a say in how you operate. So we actually move from the dais, sit in those chairs out there, and then you have a moderator.
Except for the clerk and the moderator.
Yeah. It's a little different, you know.
I can hold a paddle for you.
Oh, proxy.
I'll just stay on the phone. Yeah. Yeah, we'll proxy.
Yeah.
Any other questions then? Otherwise we'll move on to reports. Good. So we've got limited team here tonight, so that should be all right. I think we're all trying to get out of here quickly. I'm sure we all heard the thunder rolling in. So we'll move right along with our lead transportation coordinator, Leo Haro.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the transportation team, we want to say that we kind of miss our seniors. We have noticed a big difference. However, the program is still managing to help the community one way or the other. So as of last month, we completed 650 trips for individuals working with different partner agencies we have. Work Ground is one of them, and every week we get requesters, and we try our best to help you guys. And we see the positive you guys are making in this community. This included 2 special transportation requests for seniors at the Victory Center. Every week or every other week, they request transportation to like the library. It's a group of seniors who want to go out and they don't have transportation. Sometimes they go to like Chick-fil-A or Culver's, things like that. Also, Joshua Arms, another senior living location here in Joliet, they request transportation for, grocery shopping or to go eat as a group. And during this period, we also began providing transportation for clients of Trinity Services. We got clients all over the place as well, so we're helping them with transportation needs. And we completed 10 trips for veterans from the Family and Friends Center. So yes, we have noticed that the amount of trips decreased, but we're still getting some numbers down, so that's about it for last month. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Patricia Venziano is our General Assistance Director. She's not with us currently, but she did provide a written report. So I'll go through this quickly. No outreach events during the month of February. Tech season is slowly moving along. We've noticed a large decrease in returns for our Spanish-speaking population. I would attribute the decrease in returns to recent arrivals that may have moved on from the area and migrants that may be afraid to file due to IRS information being shared with federal enforcement agencies. Our huge increase in returns last year was a direct result of an influx from migrant population, which we had experienced in 2024. As of today, the combined sites have prepared 304 returns. We expect to hit 500 by the end of filing season. Our February Light Heap outreach was a great success, and our next event will be on March 18th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in the boardroom. Requests for assistance have been low, but that is to be expected due to this time of year. We have seen an increase in requests for handicap placards as word has spread out that we are an easier alternative to waiting in line at the DMV. Other than that, it's business as usual. Next, we get a written report from Animal Control Director Whitney McGill, who writes, during the past month, Animal Control Department continued to focus on daily operations and animal care. We held a volunteer orientation in which 8 new volunteers participated, and we appreciate their willingness to support the shelter and its mission. We look forward to our next volunteer orientation, which will be geared toward high school students and is scheduled for March 26th at 5 p.m. This effort aims to further expand community involvement and provide additional opportunities for youth to engage with and support the work of the department. Additionally, one of our animal control vans has returned after being outfitted by Mavron and is now fully equipped and operational, which will help support our field operations and response capabilities. next we get, finance reports. I'll have, more specific information for the board. So Ivan's not here today, but as you know, we're preparing our, fiscal year 26 budgets. So we will begin our new fiscal year on April 1st. We have until June 30th at the absolute latest to have a budget voted, approved, and certified. We certainly don't want to wait until the last minute. So no, we cut it close last year, so we're trying our best to get ahead of it, to have it prepared for April 1st. There are a lot of moving parts happening right now at Joliet Township government. I'll get into that a little bit more in my report. So I would anticipate that if we'd like to have it on our April meeting for approval, but if not possible, then we'll have it on our May agenda for approval, but we'll be operating under the terms of the new budget by then, but we'll bring it forth for votes for approval and certification in May at the latest. So, we have today our Highway Commissioner, Vincent Alessio, would like to give a report.
I'm just gonna keep it brief, for my stuff. We've been pretty much business as usual. Little bit of a downtime of the year for our guys, so we've kept them busy. We painted the inside of our building, you know, trying to find, things to keep them busy. We've been opening up the drains, and keeping the water moving. Big time of year we get drainage calls. You know, all of a sudden, it starts to rain and none of our drains work, right? So, that's what's going on with us. We're obviously looking at the storm tonight. Guys are on call, you know, for overtime to do trees or anything like that. Unless you have any questions, I'm just gonna do one quick thing, just on my mind. I think, you know, you get to use your platform a little bit. We wanna thank all the people in the armed services and the people, family of armed service members right now with what's going on. We wanna care about all citizens in the Middle East, and we want to, I personally would like to say that, you know, there, especially in our community, there's a lot that could be done with federal tax dollars to enhance human dignity and not destroy lives and countries, and I will always stand on that side. So just kind of, like I said, wanted to use my platform to kind of say those things, so, thank you.
Our assessor James Franceschi is not with us today, so we'll have program policy coordinator Tyler.
I don't know why, I will be very quick. I first just want to address the elephant in the room, which is that we are in a similar looking room as we were last month. After my report, we've been working with some contractors basically to try to get a more holistic building plan amongst all of our buildings for improvements and possible changes, rather than doing it piecemeal. That seems a little bit, that's basically been our new approach. So that's why we have not yet had work start, as we are kind of working to get those together still amongst all of our properties. Other than that, we've been leading discussions with various other governments, such as the county and whatnot, to talk about continued partnerships and ways that we can help our services work together with one another better. That's all my government work really to report on. Since the season will have started before our next meeting, I of course need to take the opportunity to say go White Sox.
They need it.
It's been a pretty few lean years.
Yeah. It's
Awful.
Decade.
I was getting to that in my report. It's a rebuild, okay? It's a rebuild. We have to rebuild the team.
Sorry, are there any comments or questions beyond that?
No.
I realize I didn't ask.
It's like a cathedral in Spain. Yeah. That's how long that rebuild's taken.
Our Violence Prevention Committee convener, Gabriel Garcia is not here today, so we'll have our Trauma Informed Behavioral Health Therapist Director, Haley Martinez Rosales, give a report on the IBH.
Good evening, everyone. So currently, we're at the 7th week of our trauma focus group at Lincoln. We will be ending in 2 weeks then, out of the 8 weeks that we have agreed with them. As of now, from the 32 clients that we were serving, 28 remain active due to disciplinary actions that the school admin decided to take, brought us down to 28 active students. Students have become more comfortable participating in group. We see more active participation, like working on the skills that we've been introducing, and they're just a little more communicative now. As far as for individual clients, we remain with 20 active clients. In the past month, we have also completed 2 additional intakes with 2 intakes pending this week as well. We currently do have a wait list for Spanish-speaking clients, as I am the only one that's able to provide those services. So they've been notified and know that once my groups conclude, in 2 weeks, I will reopen with availability just to keep myself in order with all the clients serving. Any questions or concerns? Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll just move right along. So I see Jeff Wallace is our senior liaison. So here, Jeff, if you'd like to give us an update and report.
I really just got a small report. I passed out the flyers for our tax service for the whole month in February. So I didn't think it was necessary to do it again, so, but I'm still talking about it through the end of April, through this month of April. And after that, I'll start maybe some new flyers on our on our services that we provide. I want to thank Caesar for filling in for me for a senior meeting, because I was at another senior meeting. You know, I only come down here maybe a couple times a month, and every time I come into the lobby, there's always a smiling face. I mean, people are just so friendly down there. It's amazing, you know, how well you guys do down here. The professionalism that you guys provide, I'm real proud of it. Really, that's all I got to say. If you have any questions, just don't hesitate to call me. On your notes that I gave you, it shows every meeting I'll be attending between now and next meeting. If you want to come and speak or something, just let me know like a week ahead of time, I can let the president know. So, the president and if they have a small board, they decide when and who's going to speak. It's not me. I just give them the information. So, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That's our clerk, Kendra Lampier.
Thank you.
My report is kind of long today, but along with preparing for this meeting and the annual town meeting, we've been busy with preparing for the Oakwood Cemetery grass cutting bid opening, and then answering bidders' questions, as well as continuing the work of organizing the filing cabinets. Juan has worked on the inventory. Almost half of this building is done so far, and he wrote the ordinances that are on today's agenda, along with responding to FOIAs. You didn't mention this in your report, so I'll mention it, that Tyler completed his open meetings act training. He did it so quickly, I was able to send in the list of the open meetings act designees to the public access counselor at the Attorney General's office, like shortly after the last board meeting, so thank you, Tyler, for getting that done so quickly. Megan's oath of office was completed and filed with the county clerk. Also, the county clerk sent out the email about completing the statement of economic interest. Staff have already started completing it, so shout out to Patricia, Whitney, and Erica for getting theirs done so quickly. And again, just a reminder to everyone else that the statement needs to be completed by May 1st. As you know, the lobby did get renovations, and us in the clerk's office have helped with making the lobby like more informational and more aesthetically pleasing for the residents by adding 2 bulletin boards that holds all of the organizational charts, salary and budget information, FOIA information, and the other miscellaneous information needed for public display. and there's also space for community flyers. The completed communication request forms is about to get social media posts out about the grass cutting day, early voting, as well as notifying residents about the deadline in order to get an item placed on the agenda for the annual town meeting. I want to thank Isabel, even though she's not here, but for her continued support with getting information out there to the public on social media, and then her hard work for the proclamations, as she had 6 this time around for March to get done. And then also the planning for social media spotlights for Women's History Month. And then I just want to acknowledge, I know we've continuously acknowledged her, but I want to acknowledge her too, since I'm on the topic of women, Trustee Washington. So I was able to go to her award ceremony and see her get inducted into the Hall of Fame. She was also featured in the newspaper that I gave each of you all, in the Times Weekly, and I also have it at the front there, extra copies, if anybody wants any. So again, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Any questions?
What's the spots?
Oh, so you left so quick after like everything ended at the Hall ofAme. So they were trying to figure out who to give the box to. So I was like, I'll see you. So that's your box for your award.
Award was in. I was
Yeah.
like,
So
okay,
sorry, I didn't
Frank
I just
gave me
left
the
it there.
award.
Yeah. So that's your box.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So you running out of meetings quick. So it's
Oh,
like,
yeah. Well, my daughter was here from Springfield and I was catching a ride with them.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure to give that to you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
I gotta ask the question, what's this empty box?
Right.
I don't.
Just left it there and walked away. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for attending.
Of course.
All right. Seems the weather has settled, so I'll be going with a full version
No.
of my report this time. But just very quickly, I think a lot of what I wanted to get to has been covered again. So just a few quick notes. We did put in an application for grant funding to the Will County 708 Mental Health Board. So we're hoping to hear a response on that at the end of this week on grant awards. And if awarded, that'll help us sustain our behavioral health program, which, as we heard, has been doing some really good work with the students at Lincoln School. As Tyler had mentioned, we've reassessing and reprioritizing some of our capital improvements. It's difficult to do when you've got so many buildings that are all spaced apart. And as we're making preparations for the fiscal year 26 budget, that gives us kind of a better sense of what should be prioritized first. $100,000 here, $200,000 there adds up very quickly. So despite the fact that we do have a healthy capital fund, which can allow us to fund a lot of these improvements, we can't do it all, right? So we have to prioritize what we'd like to get done this year, and decide maybe what can wait a little bit longer. And as we're looking at potentially even consolidating our services into getting into one location. So that'll be an ongoing discussion that I'll be having with all of you as trustees. As Jeff mentioned, I was able to attend the senior luncheon at St. Joe's. There was about 70 people in attendance. I was there to share some information on the VITA tax prep program. But the number one question that I got was, "Where's Jeff?" And who are you? Where's Jeff? So you're very, very well missed there, Jeff, and everyone sends their regards. I want to share also that in this boardroom, 1 week ago now, 2 weeks ago now, end of February, before we had our March agenda, I was invited to speak with the Nonviolent Cities Project, which held kind of an open forum here in our boardroom. Had some of their membership, and I was invited to be a speaker on the panel alongside Mr. Ernest Krim. I believe everyone here knows he was joined us last month for our Black History Month proclamation. So we had some very good conversations with community members on kind of what it means to build peace in our community, how we should be approaching that, what are the root causes of violence and how that can inform our preventative strategies. One of the highlights that I shared with them, insight that we've gotten from our violence prevention program, is that among incidents that we've tracked happening in Joliet and Will County, a good majority of them are escalations of domestic violence. So while our program is focused primarily on preventing firearm violence, we have to address it at its cause, and that's what we had noticed. The trend, at least locally, is that when we have these occurrences of a discharge, a firearm discharge, that more often than not, it begins as a domestic issue, which then over time escalates. Not necessarily always amongst spouses, right? Not always necessarily a husband and wife. Sometimes it's an adult child, right? 18-year-old son still lives in the home, has a disagreement with maybe a father or a stepfather. Those are some of the examples that we've been seeing. So that was informative to me, kind of news as we put together recommendations to statewide policy makers to say, how do we address firearm violence? Well, we have to address the domestic violence that is before it escalates to that point. So that was just one of the subjects, a lot of other good conversations that we had here. And following that, I myself and a lot of the guests then attended the event at the Joliet Area Historical Museum, an evening with Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. So that was in collaboration with the African American Business Association. Very well attended events, and a lot of fruitful conversations that came out of that. So I'll have, of course, more ongoing discussions with each of you, as I mentioned, about building improvements, consolidations of facilities and programs. I wish I could give more detailed reports now, but as these matters are kind of pending, I don't want to say too much too early. So I think I've had phone calls with each of you in the last week, so expect to have more continual updates as we prep for the next fiscal year. Any questions right now? Audience? Okay.
Thanks, Susan.
Then we'll move on to the financial portion of our meeting. We're almost there, guys, very close to adjourning. Just a few more items to attend to. First would be approval of receipts, cash receipts for the month of February, total $229,644.65. Is there a motion and a second to approve all cash receipts?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next we'll move on to expenditures. General town expenditures for the month of February, $478,458.94. Is there a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Our capital fund expenditures were totaling $43,749.34 in February. Is there a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Our general assistance fund for the month of February totaled $14,077.84. Is there a motion and a second to approve?
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next is our road and bridge expenditures for the month of February. We're at $85,623.10. Is there a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Our animal control fund for the month of February, expenses total $79,880.43. Is there a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And finally, our senior fund, had expenditures for the month of February in the amounts of $40,010 even. Is there a motion and a second to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's the last, voting item on our agenda, so unless there are any closing remarks, any final questions, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gavin.
Aye.
Trustee Adamowski.
Aye.
Trustee Vivian.
Aye.
Trustee Washington.
Aye.
Supervisor Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, everyone, thank you.